G'day, it's the Saint here. Today it's the Angry Saint. I am not just angry, I am freaking furious and embarrassed to be an Australian today after the news that I have heard this morning. Western Australian police, in their infinite wisdom, have arrested an Aboriginal child, 8 years old, not for stealing, but receiving stolen goods. And what was a stolen good? It was a little chocolate Freddo frog. Now, for those who don't know Freddo frogs in America and other countries, they are a little chocolate thing like this. They were worth about 20 cents. 20 cents. And so the Aboriginal child, 8 years old, didn't steal it himself. He received it from his friend, went to jail for receiving that. What a disgraceful performance that the West Australian police have done in a time of reconciliation. It goes to show that when the Australian Prime Minister said sorry for the stolen generation of Aboriginal Australia, that really makes a mockery out of all of the sentiments of reconciliation with the Aboriginal community. It makes a mockery of us as Australians, because these are authorities, these are police that represent our governments. These are the kinds of people, like 2 years ago, one of the leaders of the Conservatives in Western Australia, which is now a Conservative state, the leader of the Conservatives 2 years ago, he was the guy that had a woman sit next to him. She stood up and he went down and he sniffed her chair. They are chair-sniffing, misogynist, racist, sleazy, filthy, dirty, no-good bastards. I am so ashamed of these people that this sort of carry-on goes on. I am so ashamed to be Australia, and I am so glad I've never put the Australian flag behind me, because if I did, I would burn it right now. I would fucking burn it. I am furious. I am so ashamed to be Australia. To arrest a child for receiving a Freddo frog when we're supposed to be in reconciliation. What the fuck do they think they're doing? What the fuck do they think they're doing after the stolen generation, after everything Australia has done to the Aboriginal people? In the colonisation of Australia to the Tasmanian Aboriginal people, we obliterated an entire race of people. It's so shocked. It's so shocked writers like H.G. Wells, who wrote War of the Worlds. Did you know that the War of the Worlds was inspired by what H.G. Wells saw in Tasmania? The extermination of an entire population in Tasmania by alien people that had a superior technology. He was so horrified by this that he wrote War of the Worlds. There's just something monstrous about it, but the problem is the aliens were us. The aliens were us. Now, this is the shame that we carry in Australia, and Kevin Rudd has nearly come to the precipice of reconciliation and saying sorry. And these meatheads, chair-sniffing, meat-headed dickwads in Western Australia have fucked it up. We've got our closest trading allies, China, Indonesia, India, half of the Middle East, and possibly the US and Europe are now going to say that Australia is outrageously racist and possibly out of its league in its treatment of its Aboriginal people. And you know the problem is? The problem is they're right. This is outrageous. And there are people like me who are stuck here. And Honestly, it's moments like these, I just feel like moving to New Zealand. I really do. I am so fucking ashamed. It's disgraceful. It really is. Now, I know there is a person, some bastard in Queensland, who wouldn't know what racism is. He thinks it's the Melbourne Cup. Let me tell you something. Some of you have got a lot of growing up to do and a lot of learning to do. Unless you see the damage yourself that this has done for people, you either don't care, or you're just a complete meathead, or you're just a complete bastard. I don't think that is the Australian character. Well, maybe it is. And if it is, I don't want to be here. I really don't. I'm ashamed. West Australia. I just can't fathom this. Look, I'm looking for your comments. What do you guys think? Has anybody seen Rabbit Proof Fence? Have the West Australian Police, have they seen Rabbit Proof Fence? Australian Prime Minister has said sorry about the stolen generation. West Australia was one of the worst offenders. Seems little has changed in West Australia. Chair-sniffing bastard Conservative leaders. They are part of our federation in Australia. So, Kevin Rudd, you're going to have to do something about this. God bless you all. Same.